Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for March 30, 2024, JCF eliminates gender-specific references to rank. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has announced the abolition of titles such as Woman Constable in favor of simply Constable, as it moves to eliminate gender-specific references within its ranks. The JCF says the move, which is as symbolic as it is progressive, is a critical step in its ongoing transformation. The decree outlined in the most recent force orders is the latest directive from the new Commissioner of Police, Dr. Kevin Blake. The JCF says the directive resonates beyond the administrative changes. It represents a shift in cultural dynamics, recognizing the indistinguishable valor and the capability of all officers regardless of gender. It notes that the decision comes as the JCF commemorates 75 years since women first donned the police uniform. The abolition of titles like Woman Constable in favor of simply Constable is more than a terminological update. It is an acknowledgement of the uniformed service and the sacrifice of the JCF members. This policy not only honors the contributions of women in the force, but also underlines an environment of inclusivity where the focus is firmly on the professional, not the personal, the JCF states. It also notes that the policy aligns the force with global best practices in law enforcement, where effectiveness is measured not by gender, but by competence and integrity. It is a clear message to society at large that roles and responsibilities in security and the service are not gendered pursuits but human ones, it continues. St. Elizabeth Police intensify operations to capture armed robbers. Amid a recent spike in robberies by men carrying high-powered rifles, the St. Elizabeth Police have intensified its operational activities to capture the hoodlums. Acting Superintendent Coleridge Minto, head of the St. Elizabeth Police, told the news that the High Command is concerned about the recent trend by criminals in the parish. 3 suspects were captured on Thursday and a firearm seized during a special operation in the Middlesex community.
We continue to ask persons in the parish to share any information that they may have. We had a number of incidents over the last week, particularly robberies, and we know persons are moving across with rifles and robbing some of our business establishment. And so the operational activities are geared towards ensuring that we target these persons who are moving about and to restrict their movements and to arrest.
Policeman escapes harm following attack by gunmen in St. Anne. A detective constable attached to the St. Anne Criminal Investigations Branch narrowly escaped death early Friday morning after he was attacked by 2 gunmen in Landover, St. Anne. The incident unfolded about 12:40 a.m. at the intersection of the Landover Main Road and the Mines District in St. Anne. The news was informed that the policeman was seated in his motor car waiting for his brother when a car drove up. 2 armed men alighted the vehicle, pointed a flashlight into the face of the cop, and instructed him to exit the car. They further instructed him to walk across the road and lay down on the grass. The policeman, who was armed, complied. While crossing the road, the policeman pulled his licensed firearm, and this led to an exchange of gunfire with the hoodlums. The men ran, leaving behind a gray Toyota Altis motor car. The policeman requested reinforcement from his St. Anne-based colleagues to the scene. During a search of the area, a Taurus 9mm pistol was found. The policeman was not hurt. A search has been launched for the gunmen. Police seize $10 million worth of ganja in Portland. The narcotics police say they have intercepted another large shipment of marijuana destined for the overseas market. Nearly 1,000 pounds of ganja with a street value of $10 million was seized Friday morning in Norwich, Port Antonio, Portland. It is reported that about 2 a.m., operatives from the Narcotics Division conducted an operation in Port Antonio. During the exercise, the coastal areas of the Norwich beach were searched, which led to the discovery of 18 knitted bags with compressed ganja hidden in shrubs along the shoreline. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure. Man fatally shot by police at a party in St. Mary. A man was fatally shot by the police at a party in Enfield District, St. Mary on Friday morning. A 9mm pistol with several rounds of ammunition was seized in the incident. The news was informed that sometime after 1 a.m., the police conducted a raid on a party in the community of Riverside, following reports that armed men were seen at the function. On the arrival of the cops, the suspect was reportedly seen acting in a suspicious manner. The man was shot after he allegedly pulled a firearm on the lawman. No one else was hurt in the incident. The dead man has not yet been identified. The Independent Commission of Investigation is probing the case. Hunts Bay Police seize firearm and ammunition. The Hunts Bay Police seized a firearm and several rounds of ammunition during an operation on Mary Avenue, St. Andrew on Friday. The police say about 12:45 p.m., a team searched the premises in the area during an operation. During the search, a Glock pistol with a magazine containing 9 rounds of ammunition and a 12-gauge cartridge were found on top of the roof of a house. No one was arrested in relation to this seizure. Integrity Commission urged to give update on issue with the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. The parliamentary opposition is continuing its calls for the Integrity Commission to update the country on its continued delay in certifying the statutory declarations of Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Mr. Holness told the journalist last month while on the campaign trail that he was written to by the Integrity Commission and was still in dialogue with the anti-corruption body in relation to his declarations for 2021 and 2022. But speaking in the Senate on Wednesday, during a heated exchange with acting Senate President Charles Sinclair, Opposition Senator Peter Bunting reiterated the opposition's call for the Integrity Commission to speak on the delay.
Continuing on the Integrity Commission, the Prime Minister's statutory declarations of assets, liabilities and income have not been certified and published by that Integrity Commission. For successive years, we are asking that the Integrity Commission make a report, a full report to Parliament on that issue so that this taint on the integrity of the government be addressed transparently.
Indicom likely to reconstruct a crime scene in search for answers to woman's death. The Independent Commission of Investigations is likely to reconstruct a crime scene and, along with post-mortem findings, piece together its evidence to determine who fired the fatal bullet which struck a female passenger in a moving vehicle on Tuesday. The incident, a reported robbery along Lexington Avenue in Kingston, left 34-year-old Teresha Maraj dead. Indicom in a release said their probe now is to determine how Maraj died on the morning of March 26. The investigative body, tasked to probe the discharge of firearms by the security forces, said between March 26 and 28, they responded to circumstances which resulted in the fatal shootings of 4 persons in separate incidents across 4 parishes. Hugh Faulkner told the news on Friday that at this stage, early reports indicate that there was an exchange of gunfire, so the source of Maraj's injury and ultimate death could not be established as yet, even though she is currently listed as being fatally shot by the police. That's very preliminary because remember you have to do post-mortem and that may even assist you in that, Faulkner said. When asked by the news if the incident could be deemed a misfire, Faulkner explained that it's important to determine the correct cause. That is why sometimes we have to do scene reconstruction to try and come up with the likely source, because sometimes you have civil proceedings apart from the punitive proceedings. You can have civil proceedings where the citizens can sue, Faulkner informed. He said that sometimes the reconstructive forensic processes can be helpful. If I was standing here, somebody at a point X and somebody at a point Y could likely have been the person who injured me. So at this stage it is very preliminary, the Indicom boss emphasized. Reports say that on the day in question, an off-duty police officer observed and intervened in the robbery of a female pedestrian along Lexington Avenue, Kingston 3. During that police intervention, the officer fired his weapon at the escaping robbers. Maraj, a passenger in a vehicle traveling along Lexington Avenue, received a gunshot injury and was taken to hospital where she was pronounced dead. Indicom said the alleged robbers escaped the incident scene. No firearm was reported as retrieved. Indicom said the vehicle in which the deceased was a passenger was also processed and the bullet damage was observed. The concerned officer provided an initial account to the investigators at Indicom and was served with a Section 21 notice to provide a statement and attend the office of the commission to be interviewed in relation to the incident. Indicom said this killing and the aforementioned 3 increased the total number of fatal shootings from March to 12 and 34 for the year to date. According to Indicom, they were not informed of a body-worn camera being issued, assigned or used in any of the incidents, including one that happened during a planned operation. In the other incidents on March 27, the commission said they were advised of a fatal shooting on Basant Lane in Yallas, St. Thomas. The police say they were engaged in a planned operation in search of a wanted man known by his aliases. They entered a dwelling and a man was seen with a knife. They reportedly fired at and hit the man, later identified as Lenford Barrett, and he was pronounced dead at hospital. The bladed weapon was seized at the incident scene. Also that same day in Manchester, Indicom's Central Regional Office responded to a fatal shooting at the Winston Jones High School. A 24-year-old man, Kemar Clark, was shot and killed after reportedly driving in a dangerous manner within the school grounds, resulting in the injury of persons and the damage to other property. Clark reportedly drove at a high speed in the direction of a policeman who was present. The officer fired at the vehicle and it crashed. Clark was wounded by gunfire and pronounced dead at the Mandeville Regional Hospital. The fourth fatal shooting incident occurred in Guys Hill, St. Catherine. Indicom is appealing to any person who witnessed any of the 4 fatal incidents to contact the office of the commission at 876-968-1932.